Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a collective reading because today Mercury goes retrograde, the last retrograde of the year. And it's interesting because, yesterday I did the collective reading for the new moon in Sagittarius, and sometimes when I do collective readings back to back, it's kind of like a big energy, right? Like the collective readings, they are it's like the intensity is just more, right, than usual. And I know that I say that all of my readings for the signs, they are collective, but there is something special about the collective readings because I feel like it's directed to a larger group. And because, we had yesterday the new moon in Sagittarius on the portal day, right, 12/12. And today, Mercury is going retrograde for the last time this year in Capricorn, and it's going to cross over to 2024 retrograde, right? So the new year is going to begin, in a sense, with Mercury retrograde, and then it's going direct on the 1st of January. I just felt like, I wanted to pull cards for the collective so that we could have like this extra help to navigate this period because typically retrograde, especially being Mercury, the ruler of our minds, the ruler of, communication and conversations and exchanges and interactions with others, it can be a little bit challenging, especially, in, this time of the year when we do have to interact a lot with family and friends. And, sometimes Mercury retrogrades can bring like this confusion, right? So I wanted to pull cards just to give like this extra guidance in a sense to help us navigate this phase. And so because this is a collective reading, I'm doing it with my big combined deck of tarot cards and astrological oracle cards. But in this spread, at least in this first part, there are only tarot cards. But I want to say that the card at the bottom of the deck is actually from the astrological oracle card. It's actually from the astrological oracle deck, and it's this card that is the part of fortune, which is not typically a symbol that is well known in astrology. It is very ancient. It is like a mathematical virtual point. It's not necessarily an astral body, but here is talking about like simplifying things. That's where the fortune is. That's where the opportunities for avoiding confusion, for preventing like mistakes in communication and misinterpretations to occur, right? It's like there is a great deal of opportunity that this Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, the last of the year, is showing us, is presenting us with. And so I feel like there might be something that is actually hidden, right, in terms of like being cautious, being careful, being mindful, right? That would be like the perfect word for this phase. It's like be mindful, with your words, with your thoughts, with what you desire, right? So to go to the cards now, to go to this spread, there are only tarot cards. I feel like the first card is already like giving the first guidance, right? The piece of advice that is coming from the Two of Pentacles. This card could be seen as the card of juggling two things, right? Being divided in a sense. But to me, the Two of Pentacles, especially this one, talks about, one step after the other, like being very mindful again about the steps that you take so that you are not juggling two things, so that you're not distracted, with two things happening at once, but instead it's like being very careful and very present in terms of the steps that you're taking forward. The thing about the Two of Pentacles that came through being the first card, and to me the first card always sets the tone for the rest of the reading. So this card talks about like avoid multitasking. Whatever you can do, like simplifying your tasks, simplifying your schedule, simplifying your lists of things to do, to buy, to, you know, this and that. It's like simplify your steps, right? So it's like it will really, really like help you to not stumble upon your own feet, right? So the interesting thing about this juggling that I was seeing and how you can avoid that, you know, by just being mindful about your steps, is because the entire row that is coming next is talking about that. And the interesting thing also, and I know that I'm saying interesting a lot, but it is really interesting. These three cards, they turned all together and they came, you know, in this order of the Ace of Wands, the Chariot, and the King of Cups. The Ace of Wands was coming through as like something desirable, like, you know, a present that you want to gift somebody, or even like that you want for yourself. It's something that it's external to you, right? It's an object, is an experience. It's coming through more as an object, right? So it's like something that you want to buy, that you want to purchase, that you want to attain or obtain. It's something that it's like it's outside of you. The Chariot, however, is going to this King of Cups heart center, right? So what these two cards, you know, with the Chariot in between was talking about is that instead of juggling two things, which could be like this division between like your wants and your true needs, right? It's like what your heart really, really wants, what it really, really needs. Maybe it's not necessarily the thing that you think you desire, right? It's kind of like it's like the instinctual kind of impulsive, that's the best word, like impulsive type of sensation, like I want that, like that's the thing that I want, right? But it's external to you. So it's like, you know, like this possessive thing, right? It's like this desire to have something, right? To bring it closer to you. And this is weird because, you know, I've never seen this with the Ace of Wands. Typically, you know, I see this tree, but it's, well, maybe it could be a Christmas tree, right? It's like you need that tree. So it's almost like, just ask yourself, like, what does your heart really, really want from this? Is it something to like show off? Because, you know, this could be like, you know, the biggest tree, like the most lit up tree, or, you know, the best decorated tree, or whatever it is, right? Maybe I'm just using the example because it is what I typically see, even though it could be something else entirely. Because as I said, it's like, it's something that, it's almost like this precious thing, that it's like this incredible opportunity that if you don't get it right away, it's like you feel like you're going to miss that opportunity. But again, it's like, if this makes you feel divided, you know, split in two, it's like go towards your heart and ask your heart, right? It's like drop into your heart and just feel into what you truly, truly desire. Because this might be something very momentary, or very like this impulse purchase, right? That it's kind of like this it's not instinctual, it's almost like it might not even be, you know, apparent until you see that thing, right? It's like you weren't even thinking about having that thing or having that experience until you saw that. So that makes me wonder as a reader, like, and especially because the Chariot is going towards the King of Cups, if this is truly your heart's desire. Because I feel like it's almost like there is a tendency, and this is where the split is, right? There is a tendency of, you know, being divided between something that is external. Yes, it's very attractive, right? It's very, you know, exciting. It's very enchanting and interesting. But is it truly what you desire, right? Because I feel like with, you know, the crown here, right? The King of Cups representing self, right? Like you very in tune with your heart, with yourself. It's different than, you know, just buying something impulsively just because of, you know, a quick, you know, a quick desire, right? And I'm having like a deja vu moment. It's almost like maybe you have already been through something similar, right? Maybe this time of the year, it's, you know, something that, you know, stirs in you this type of feeling, right? It's like maybe you need to have that thing, right? It's like maybe you need to buy those presents for your family, or, you know, or for yourself, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be for others, but it's like this kind of, it's like this show off kind of thing, right? I don't want to be like, I don't want to diminish desires, but in terms of like this, you know, balancing act between your impulsive desire and then your true heart's desire, it's like there is, it's like there is, it's like, you know, already which one to go towards, right? The Chariot in between is talking about that. And the other thing that I was seeing with these two cards is that, you know, the Ace starts, you know, the journey through the minor arcana, and then the King is the end. And it's almost like the Chariot is the in-between, right? What happens between the beginning and the end. So it's kind of like the fun part, right? The journey itself. So this is the starting point and this is the finish line in a sense. But if you start with a desire that you don't know exactly if it's going to fulfill your true heart's desire, then it's almost like you're not going to enjoy the journey, right? And there's always going to be like this sensation that you are kind of split, right? You're divided. You don't know exactly, you know, which way to go, right? It's like you're stuck in between the beginning and the end in a sense. But because these two, they're so close to one another, right? It's like if we it's like what I'm seeing here, it's like a ruler, right? A malleable ruler. It's like if you join the two tips, like the two edges, it's like you start again, right? It's like the King leads to the Ace. So, but if you know your true heart's desire, then when this spark, right, is lit up inside of you, it's like you will know that this is not an impulsive thing, right? This is not just your instinct trying to, you know, kind of fulfill your ego needs, right? But instead it's like really, really fulfilling your heart. So the distinction between these two, and maybe what will help you to avoid juggling two things and, you know, stop multitasking and really, really dedicating yourself to what you truly, truly want, is focusing on these two sentences in a sense, right? It's like, I have and I am, right? Or I want and I am. So it's like, you know, if you put those two in perspective and if you take like these mindful steps, it's like you will know that whenever you are in tune with your heart, your wants, your desires are also going to be in tune, right? And then this in-between stage is actually going to be very beautiful, very enriching, right? Fulfilling to this heart center. And the secret to this is to find this middle ground, which is, you know, presence. This is the in-between, right? Because the middle ground, the you know, middle point between the beginning and the end, right, between the Ace and the King, is the 5, right? It's like the 5 is representing like this, it's not a fork in the road or crossroad. It's more like this middle point, right? It's like half of the journey. It's like if you know that half of the journey you have been present, then yes, this is very genuine, right? Yes, this desire is authentic. It's like it is going to lead you to this true heart's desire. So it's almost like if you know that you're halfway through, you know, since that first impulse and things are feeling good, right? You are present. It's like you know where you are, you know who you are. Then of course your needs are going to be validated by your own presence, right? By your own like integrity of self, right? It's like you are, it's like you're being responsible, you know, and sovereign with the 9 of Pentacles, right? The 9 of Pentacles is talking about independence. And it's interesting because I was talking about like impulsive purchases, right? You know, something that could be very like this show off act, right? Or like this like some sort of fulfillment to the ego, right? It's like buying something just because you need to have it, or you think you need to have it, if you're not connected to your heart's desire. But that happens because it's like, you know that your path is going to be enjoyable, it's going to be enriching, because it's like you're committed to the journey itself. Yes, there is a clear beginning and there is a clear ending to it, which could be seen as like this path of, you know, your true desire, your true connection to your heart's desire. But the way to enjoy this middle path, right, it's like it's being present every step of the way, right? Every journey, that you know that you're not divided, that you're not, you know, and divided could be seen as like split between your mind and your heart, right? Or like your external desires and your internal desires, something like that, right? Or, you know, material things and then spiritual things, right? Or, you know, like these types of dualities, right? This is what the Two of Pentacles is showing me. So in order to enjoy the ride, right, especially during this season of the last Mercury retrograde, where things could be slowing down, which is exactly the guidance here. It's like slow down your pace so that you are mindful of each step, so that you don't stumble upon your own feet. And then it's like you can enjoy the smooth ride, right? And it's a smooth ride that it's like, again, it's validating your choices. It's validating your, it's like whatever you had to sacrifice to make sure that you are this independent, sovereign, present being, right? It's like you are so integral. You're so committed to your own realizations. It's like this personal realizations, but that talk about like, you know, achievements and all of that, but talks about like the commitment to the path, right? How can this path, this journey of, you know, this in-between moment, you know, where it began with a desire and it's like ending with this heart's true desire being fulfilled, right? It's like, you know, that it's like you have done the work for yourself, right? The nines, to me, they symbolize the individual path. And the Nine of Pentacles, you know, after the Five of Pentacles, it's just emphasizing the fact that it's like, you know where you are at every single step of this journey. And knowing that, being present, being fully present and aware, it's going to help you navigate this season, you know, that has a beginning and an end, right? And it's almost like they are continuous, right? It's like they don't end in a sense, right? They just refresh, or they evolve in a sense, because one leads to the other, right? And it's like this succession of journeys, right? Journeys that are pointing towards like more of your own independence, right? More of your own fulfillment, but fulfillment and commitment, right? And this commitment is very enriching, not just for yourself, because this is you enjoying the path, right? And enjoying like how much that you're putting in, because you know that you're going to, you know, perhaps, you know, follow these instincts if they are aligned with your true heart's desire. And, you know, buy the best tree that you can. Buy, you know, this expensive gift that you want to gift somebody, right? Because the Knight of Cups coming after this Nine of Pentacles shows me that if you are feeling this true heart's desire, and this is where your path is leading, to gift somebody that you truly love, because you can afford, because you have the means to it, because you are this sovereign, integral being, right? It's like, do so. It's like, use your resources, use your mindful steps, right? And, you know, everything that you have worked for to do so, because it's like, it's a way to share, right? Everything. And I'm getting goosebumps, because it's like, it's more than just a gift. It's more than just, you know, what I was saying, you know, it's just you know, the comparison here between the external thing, right, the object, but then the self. It's like the person who receives that, it's like they're not going to see just the thing itself, right? They're not just going to receive the gift because of, you know, how much they're worth, right? But it's like they're going to feel your true heart's desire behind it, right? They're going to sense the intention upon which you wanted to buy that thing for this person in the first place. And that's because it's like they see you as an example of sovereignty. It's almost like they admire you, and it's like they respect your own journey. And because of that, it's like you're an example. So whatever you use to gift them, it's like what you're giving them, it's much more than just a present, right? Or whatever you purchase them. Or, you know, maybe you're not purchasing, right? Maybe you are this creative being because of all the fire, and it's like you're using your creativity to make a present, right? So it can be like this external thing, right? This material object, but it's so infused with love, right? With integrity, with this connection with your true heart's desire, that they're going to sense it. It's like, but they're going to, it's almost like it's a token that their path can lead to where you are, right? It's like you are an inspiration for them, right? With like everything that you know that you can afford because you have worked for this position, for this place of, you know, maybe financial freedom and security, but also like knowing who you are and knowing that there is like, you know, half of this journey to go still, right? So it's like, yes, you are in a good place and you can afford to, you know, share this love, share this gift with others who might be just beginning this path, right? Because they're showing as the knight and you're here as the king. But it's like you serving as this example of integrity. It's like this it's like this extra gift, right? It comes, you know, like with this extra layer of inspiration for them, being the example that they can follow, right? But not like, you know, that they're going to accompany you. I'm not seeing that. It's like they have their own path, but they see in you something like an inspirational force, right? An example, a true example, right? And it's like they're receiving it with their heart open. And that's the beautiful thing. It's like that's also like proof for you that your gift is worth much more than the value that you have paid for this, right? No matter how much you have paid, because you can, right? It's not about the value itself or the money or the price, I should say. It's not about the price. It's about the value, right? Because you're being this example of sovereignty. And it's like following your impulses, but only when they are truly, truly aligned with your true heart's desire. And this is what they're picking up. So that's amazing. That's so specific and so on point, I think, right? It's so appropriate for this time of the year. So I am going to pull more cards for you. And I'm also going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.